Okay. Magandang araw po sa ating mga followers, sa ating mga listeners, especially mga kabataan, but of course hindi tayo bias, wala tayong age bias dito. Today we have a very special guest. Of course, kasama ito dun sa election series interviews na ginagawa natin since last year po. At today we have no less than Senator J.V. Ejercito, who is of course now also contesting for that August office. No? Tumatakbo siyang bilang senador sa darating na election. Maraming salamat po, sir.
Thank you very much. Welcome po.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Richard and Mark. Thank you very much that I'll be able to at least have this opportunity to let my platforms and my plans be known.
Maraming salamat, Senator. I'm sure Mark has a lot of questions to ask later on. Siya yung resident expert pagdating sa mga online and blog and trending issues and all. But before that, Senator Ejercito, of course, you're a known commodity to us, yung mga medyo mas matatandang millennials and the rest. I mean, we have known you for your contributions in the Senate, among others. But dun sa mga younger generation, perhaps, especially Gen Z, yung mga first-time voters, perhaps it would be nice if they have a better idea of your background po, paano kayo pumasok sa politika. Of course, we know you come from a prominent political background, but if you can tell us a little bit about your background at bakit kayo sumabak sa politika at ano po yung mga major moments in terms of contribution, achievements, challenges, etc. that you want to share with our audience.
Well, I graduated sometime 1991, from De La Salle. I went to Xavier School also for grade school and high school, but I went to La Salle for college. Then I went into business. I worked for a while, gained experience. Then I went into business right after. I became quite successful because I was lucky enough that I went into real estate and caught the real estate boom. Sometime 95 up to 97 before the Asian crash. So, sinuwerte naman ako doon. I made fortune in diversified business, real estate, food, and financing company. So, and then I was active in the different youth organizations, especially JCI, Jewish Chamber International, which is a leadership development organization, of which I became the national president in 1998 of this organization. Thereafter, I went in 2001 by force of circumstances. I went into politics. Actually, I was forced to because my brother then ended this term, and we all know what happened because my father stepped down from office. So I told my father, why don't I give it a try? So against all the odds, we were against the tide back then, but I still made it. I still won as mayor of San Juan in 2001 at the age of 31. So having
bata pa kayo, no?
Bata pa.
Sorry to cut you there, but because this is an important juncture in our history. At alam natin yung nangyari sa 2001, yung EDSA 2. Can you tell us a little bit about, I mean, from a Ejercito Estrada perspective, how did you perceive that moment in our history? At saka yung anong expectation yung maging impact ito sa political fortunes niyo and Philippine democracy for that matter over the long run?
Well, I would think that my father is not perfect, but I think it was really EDSA 2 was a conspiracy, no? Kung titignan ninyo, no, talagang eksaktong 2.5 years and after which he was overthrown, 3.5 para makatakbo pa si GMA. So she served for 9 years, no? Parang eksakto kasi pong 4 years she cannot run anymore.
So yung technicality ng pwede siya tumakbo ulit.
I would think so. So it was a conspiracy, no? Back then. But to cut the long story short, I think that history will be the final judge. And until now, when we talk about government contracts or anything, any agreement, nireview nila lahat yan no? When they took over, there was nothing onerous. There was no disadvantageous contract. As far as government contract is concerned. I think walang ano no, and until now, not a member of any of his official family, meaning cabinet members or anybody, was ever charged with any graft or any other corruption cases. So it was really, I think, one man's word against, ano, di ba? So it was sweating, but no government contracts, no? Yun yung accusation. But
Right.
I think is yes.
Mhm. Senator, were you optimistic that down the road the fortunes could turn in your favor, that the Estrada name and brand could recuperate? Meron ba kayong thinking na gano'n? Or there was like a fear na, nako po, baka purge ang mangyari dito, yung katulad nangyari sa mga Marcoses in the past?
Well, I would think so, because I think the mere fact that we're still one in politics, no, and probably I could tell you this, no, that I took that as a challenge from day one that I entered public service. That, you know, because of what happened, I really wanted to prove to everybody that, you know, we are not evil people, no. Wala namang ano at least, you know, my father, wala naman sinaktan niya, pinapatay or anything, no. In fact, he didn't want any bloodshed. That's why he sacrificed. He made the ultimate sacrifice. And ako talaga parang naging challenge ko yan, no, to prove everybody wrong, no. That's why siguro yun yung naging ano ko. That's what was my goal was. That's why when I was mayor, I really tried to do my best, no. I had no experience whatsoever in government service. We were in the opposition. I was one of the faces of the opposition back then. But probably what I learned in business, yung aking experience sa business and my leadership development organization skills in JCI, yun lang yung ano ko eh. That's my only background then. So I'm glad I was able to do it. No, I tried to introduce reforms. Talagang shock ako when I went from the corporate world to government service. Are really two really different things, no?
But in what ways are they related, Senator? Because some people would say managerial skills are leadership skills, no? At mas maganda minsan, alam natin, for instance, sa Singapore, minsan yung mga ministers, pinapalagay sila sa mga private companies to get more experience para maging more efficient sila as government ministers. So it seems meron connection yan. Kung meron kang managerial skills, meron kang real life experience, risk-taking, that might help you to be also very effective and proactive leader in the political and governance realm.
I would think so, Richard. I think yung experience ko in the corporate world, my experience and probably yung training ko, leadership training, work wonders for me, no? In fact, newcomer ako sa sa politics, talagang it really is worlds apart, no? Talagang iba eh. So at first, I think my first few years in office, I was not really liked that much by the employees, kasi I really wanted to introduce reforms, because in business, you know, for every peso that you spend, you expect the same amount of service, di ba? Eh dito sa politika kasi marami diyan maraming political appointees, yung talagang 15-30 na, you know, tsaka yung attitude before was really relax lang, no? In fact, when yung mga first few weeks ko, talagang I don't even know who are our employees. Walang naka-uniform. They were just loitering around, no? Chit-chatting. Tapos by 11 o'clock, they're already preparing for lunch, di ba? Nag-make up na. Tapos magla-lunch sila doon sa SM Center Point. Babalik 2 o'clock na yata. And then by 4 o'clock, nagpe-prepare na rin to leave by 5 o'clock. So,
iba yung work ethic.
That cannot be. Yeah. So, parang gano'n. Tapos maraming 15-30 because maraming political appointee, no? Na talagang walang, they're being paid for doing nothing. So, I changed everything, no? Kaya nga, ang tawag sa akin nun, ano ba tawag sa akin nun? Saddam Hussein yata or something, no? Diktador daw ako kasi buti pa iba daw dati, mas madali, da. So I first order of the day, I asked everybody to wear uniforms. Nagpagawa ako ng uniforms, wear IDs all the time, no loitering during office hours. Tapos tapos yung mga ano noon, it's very backward, no? Even the mayor's office makinilya pa, typewriter pa, computer age at that time. So yung BPLO, yung business permits licensing office, index cards, no? Assessor's office, ganun din. Nako, alam mo pag index card, andun yung mga magic pag nagbura ka, nako, may milagro na doon, di ba? So I embarked on an ambitious computerization program na designed really specifically for our operations. So it took 2 years, no, for the software to be developed. So from 2001, 2003, it was already up. At first, ako napakahirap because as they were doing the computerization, they were talking to the department heads, it was met with resistance, no? Kasi nakasanayan na di ba? So, but I had to put my foot down, no? Talagang. So, to cut the long story short, 2003, we already computerized. And sabi ko na lang sa we have pep talks every flag ceremony every Monday. Sabi ko, ano naman, no? I hope that you just support me with this. Pag naman gumanda ang takbo natin, kayo yung unahin ko. No? Pag umunlad pa, for example, ang aim namin was to become a city. Pag nag-city kami, of course, there will be additional income. Sabi ko, itataas ko kagad ang salary grade nyo. Kasi mawawala na yung mga magic di ba? Computerized na, even assessors, BPLO, no? Tax mapping, everything. So, yun, luckily, because of this, we professionalized, no? Talagang we practice transparency. Luckily that yung investors, no, came in na kahit na nasa opposition ako, I told myself hindi ako kakaasa sa national government because I'm one of the faces of the opposition back then. So I'm happy and lucky that the investors like the governance, no, yung transparency. So investments poured in, no, 2 billion, I think 3 billion at the time. And San Juan's income when they took over was only 300 million pesos. In that time, that's quite small for Metro Manila. No? 300 million was just enough for personal services, operations. No, wala ngang yan. Kung may projects man, talagang minimal. So I told myself, I was on a mission. I wanted to prove na ang Ejercito name ay hindi masama. So parang yun yung naging, that was my
yun ang
challenge.
na-sense ko, Senator, na medyo may redemption mode ang nangyari dito. I mean, the dedication and the passion you put into the governance, and I'm sure medyo pioneering yan. Ikaw, Mark, may tanong ka kasi of course you're very close to Mayor Isko Moreno, another mayor who has been also very much at the forefront of good governance reform in Manila.
Pero I saw din naman the changes in San Juan over the last 2 decades under kay Mayor JV and then after yung kanyang ma'am. Itatanong ko lang, Senator, as a mayor, ano yung mga proudest achievements mo sa city during your 9 years as mayor?
Well, pinaka-proud ako because San Juan became a city under my administration, 2007. We were also adjudged as the most progressive municipality bago kami nag-city. No? So number 1 kami sa Pilipinas. Of course, yung mga dating panaginip lang ng mga proyekto. No? We have a new city hall. I was able to establish a state university, PUP San Juan. San Juan became brighter. Dati madilim, street lights, the basic. So most of the infrastructure projects that were just a dream back then happened during this period, and was continued by my mother. In fact, pati yung pinaglabanan siya because I'm a lover of history. Where I was able to build the Museo ng Katipunan as a dedication to Andres Bonifacio kasi baka Bonifacio ako So parang siya na lang yung walang museum. Meron siya mga bantayog, but unlike Rizal and Aguinaldo, they have their own shrines and museums. Si Bonifacio la, kaya I built my Museo ng Katipunan kasi yung first battle of the Katipunan started here in San Juan in Pinaglabanan, no? So, the Battle of San Juan del Monte. So, but to cut the long story short, I'm most proud not because of these nice, beautiful infrastructures, no? I am proudest because San Juan has the lowest poverty incidence, no? In the country. So ibig sabihin kami yung pinaka-counting bilang na may hirap because I don't believe in dole outs really, no? Hindi talaga ako ganun eh. Na I don't want to people to get used to waiting for dole outs. So I wanted to professionalize. I wanted to for investors to come in because that will provide jobs and opportunities. So yun naman, nagboom ang Green Hills, no? The renewed development, redevelopment. So that provided jobs and opportunities. So pinaka-proud ako yung less than 2% yata, if I'm not mistaken, nakalimutan ko na yung figures, ang aming poverty incidence. And I think that's the best. That's the lowest in the country, no, percentage-wise. And probably in per capita income, we are also number 1 kasi umabot kami ng 1.2 billion back then with our very small population. So parang nasa 3,000 pesos yata yung per capita. So when we're one of the highest in the country as well. So ayun, parang at least by 2010, it paved the way to San Juan's new redevelopment. One of the most progressive cities, small but yung governance talaga. I think we're quite proud of that. No?
So 3 terms kaya naging mayor, Senator. How many terms did you serve as a mayor?
Yes,
Until
2 terms.
2010.
Three terms.
3
Three
terms,
terms
right?
as mayor.
Until 2010. And then,
2010.
of course, legislature na yung inisip yung susunod, di ba? Of
Yes,
course,
I
Senate
went.
and all, right. Can you tell us about your decision to go in terms of your next step, in terms of your political career? At bakit po yan ang pinili niyo?
Well, I ended my term 2010 and so I ran for Congress, no? Siguro just to give I wanted to give it a try. But I'm parang I was hesitant kasi talaga I don't talk much, no? Mas ko action, parang mas I told myself mas bagay ako sa
Executive.
In fact, yes. So that was my feeling in my first year in Congress, no? Talagang sabi ko, nanibago ko eh. I was really used to action, no? Talagang pag may vision ka, meron kang plano, in a year or two, you'll see it already. Eh, yung Congress, di ba? Matagal ang legislation, the process, and you will only realize it years after. So, but then again, I tried, no? Sa Congress, pwede kang relax, pwede kang magtrabaho, kung gusto mo, pwede rin hindi. Pero, I cannot. I think I still have that, that goal. I wanted to prove something that I wanted to carry the Ejercito name high and proud. So, yun.
Right.
And then after my first term in Congress, I gave it a shot sa Senate, which luckily I won kahit na nasa opposition ako. No? I still won. And
So perennial opposition kayo from 2001 until 2004.
Oo nga. Yeah. Well, yun, 2013, I was lucky na to make it to the Senate. No? It's really difficult to win because it's a national election. It's just like running
Tapos
for
midterms
president.
pa, di ba? Usually pro-incumbency yung midterms, di ba?
Yes,
The
yes.
pro-administration bets do very well, no?
Yes,
I
correct.
think that was
correct.
really a
That's
tough one.
Yes, that is correct. That's correct. So I won midterm and it's a different level no pag nasa Senate ka, no? The first time I walked the plenary, talagang, the first person I saw there was Senator Miriam Santiago, no? Everybody knows that she's one of the most brilliant, feisty.
God bless her
talagang,
soul. Yeah, definitely. God bless
Yes.
her soul. Yeah.
Yeah. So, sabi ko, pag nagkadebate ko to, mga ngatog ka dito di ba?
Challenge
Then-
challenge yan. Level up.
Yeah.
Level up.
And then Senator Drilon, we know,
Yeah.
even if we belong to different parties or colors, one of the most brilliant, one of the most diligent. Actually, he comes always prepared. No?
Right.
Sergius Mena, diligent also. And then when I sat, my seatmate was Juan Ponce Enrile. Given his advanced
Ayan na.
age, still one of the sharpest.
Ancient wisdom. Sabi nga
Yes.
nila. Classic yan. Classic.
Yes.
Senator Ejercito, so what was the political climate back then? Again, for our younger generations na they grew up during the time of President Duterte, etc., politically speaking, na hindi nila masyadong naabutan yung time ni late President Aquino. Was there a difference from the Arroyo time to Aquino time, considering na opposition kayo through and through? Was there a difference in terms of the overall political climate and the direction of the country?
Well, during Arroyo's time, talagang one of the faces of opposition ako eh. Aside
Right.
from being mayor of San Juan, I was really active also in the opposition against her. Kasi her legitimacy was in question eh. Di ba? We still think that, yung ascension to office was really a power grab. And I think that is not even international experts said that, but it's not good for democracy. No? So I was active in the opposition back then. When during the Aquino administration, I was already in the Senate. I was also in the opposition in the minority. Of course, I played my role as a minority, as fiscalizer. But ako naman kasi, but anything for development, if it's good, I will support, no? But if I see anything that is not, I feel that is not correct or right, I will make my stand, no? For example, yung mga 4Ps before, I was not in favor really of that time kasi I think of dole out eh, no? But sometimes you need it also depending on the situation. Pero kasi mas pa rin ako rin sa sa investment and creating more jobs, no, by encouraging investments, no. So
And
ayun,
Senator,
yes.
of course, during this time we had some major developments, including yung accusations of corruption against some of people that belong to your coalition. There were cases filed against a number of senators, of course, including Senator Estrada, among others. Ano pong tingin niyo dun sa mga, what they say is good governance reforms? Dun sa perspective niyo, how are you perceiving this? Because I think that was quite unprecedented, no, na to go after senators to that degree and all. What was your reading of the situation?
Well, naging controversial pa nga because I think I signed yung I signed a resolution, no, na I think my brother got mad at me. Pero I was Richard, Mark, I was elected by the people, no. Of course, family matters, 'di ba, yung relationship, but I have a mandate to fulfill, no. I have to do what is right, no. That is that was my position back then. Alam ko magagalit sa akin ng ibang member ng pamilya, but I have to make a stand and they have to respect that I owe this mandate to the people and I have to do what is right. No? So sabi nga nila ano nga ito, may saying I just get later I'll try to remember, no.
I know it's late.
Sabi nga let justice be done though the heavens fall, 'di ba? May ganung kasabihan di ba?
Right.
So
it was a matter of conviction for you,
yes.
no? It was a matter of conviction for you, Senator. Now, even though
yes,
you put yourself in a very tricky situation, right? By backing
yes.
that resolution in the Senate.
And also, I think justice has to be served. No, I think they have to prove it in court. No, it will also give them the chance to cleanse their name, no, to clear their name. So also, yun ang tingin ko rin. No,
so doon ba nag-start, Senator JV, yung friction between the two of you brothers, or maski nung sa San Juan pa meron ng conflict?
Hindi, nung San Juan pa lang nagsimula na kasi I took over from him. So alam niyo naman, as I mentioned earlier, I tried to professionalize, I tried to change the culture of our bureaucracy. Siyempre, marami talagang tatamaan dyan because I was introducing change, di ba? Yung mga dati 1530, pinagtrabaho ko na. Bawal na yung 1530 ngayon. Mga job orders nun, they have to report. No? Bawal ang loitering, kailangan naka-uniform. So, ayun, siyempre, people that are not happy, of course, yung mga employees, yung mga dating nakasanayan na nila, they were in veterans din di ba? Not detained, they will go to him. Talagang, siyempre, susulsulan, no? So, I think that's where it got worse and worsened, no? Yung rivalry namin because when I took over, I introduced a lot of changes. Marami na sagasaan talaga, no? I siguro hindi ko na elaborate because I'd like actually in 2019 I will make kwento later na I think lessons learned. No?
We're getting there, yeah. We're getting there, Senator. Let me ask you one more thing. I'm sure Mark will also appreciate this. Kasabay nyo rin si Senator Bongbong Marcos, right? This is the time, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about him as a senator? Because of course, he's very much known as the son of the former Filipino president and everything like that. Yung takbo niya sa vice president. But I think he was quite low profile guy as a senator, right? From what I remember, wala siya masyado sa news back in the day. What is your experience of interaction with then Senator Ferdinand Marcos Jr.?
Actually, I have to be honest, si Bong, I call him Bongit, no, because people close to him call him Bongit. No? We're quite close before because of common friends. Inigo Zobel is very quite, yun yung common friend namin. I'm very close to Inigo. Inigo's a childhood friend of Bongbong Marcos, no? So yun yung nag-start yung relation, yung friendship namin probably in the 90s, no? We have this circle of friends that I hang out with once in a while. Ayun, kaya naging friend ko rin siya. But in the Senate, actually, we had a unique collaboration because he was chairman of the Committee on Local Government. I happen to be one of the principal authors of the Sangguniang Kabataang Reform Law kasi talagang 2013 isa sa mga ko yan one of my advocacies is youth, no? Youth programs, no? Free higher education, SK Reform Law. Si Bam Aquino was also an author, no? Co-principal author also of of the SK Reform Law. So dalawa kami yung naging author nito. Since Senator Bongbong Marcos was the chairman, nag-author na rin siya. Nag-co-author rin siya. So it's a collaboration between an Aquino,
Right. That's an interesting one.
a Marcos, and an Ejercito or
Yeah,
Estrada.
that's
So
nag-meet ang
pinag-ano namin yan. Collaboration namin yan. Yes.
That's a very interesting story, no? Mark, you want to say something
Yes.
on that? They can work, no? I mean, families cannot work after all.
Senator JV naman can work with, he has proven time and again na he can work with anyone talaga.
And Senator, so of course 2016 elections happens, which I think is of course one of the most momentous elections in recent memory, although may parating pa na isa. What was your reading of the situation in 2016? Did you expect President Duterte to pull off the kind of landslide victory he was able to pull off? What was your reading of his victory and what it meant for the Philippines?
Well, I think yung surge ni President Duterte came in the last month already. Talagang
right, medyo March pa, late March.
Yeah,
around
April,
now.
Yes.
Yeah, around now, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was unique, he was kakaiba, 'di ba? The way he talks, unconventional, I would say, no? Unconventional politician. So, ayun, that's why probably people wanted to try something new, no? Someone new. So ayun, kaya si President Duterte won by a landslide, no? Against yung mga dating mga front runners back then were Binay, Grace po, they were the early front runners, pero biglang si President Duterte in the end. Yung kanyang
I'm asking you, Senator, this because of course your father is one of the most known populists in Philippine history, and I would say one of the most known populists internationally, right? And President Duterte is also considered as a populist. But in what ways do you find them similar and dissimilar? Your father and also the incumbent president.
I think they're so similar in so many ways, no? For one, they're both locals, no? Local chief executives, mayors, unconventional. My dad was really proud of his. He will always keep on telling stories about his experience as mayor of San Juan. Kasi as mayor, that's when you grassroots yan, that's where you really blend with people. So President Duterte, I guess, is always proud. He always goes back and always tells stories about his experience as Davao mayor, no? So yun, they're both alike in that way. They were both also not liked by the EB crowd who despised them, but still they remain popular with the masses, no? Ang sabi nga lang ni President Duterte, I can clearly remember he attended my dad's 80th birthday. No, kasi President Erap kasi masyadong mabait nung inaapi ka ng mga media at mga elitista. Ayaw mo magkasakitan. Masyado kang mabait. So, probably President Duterte learned from there. Kaya, all the things my dad did not do, yun yung ginawa naman niya, no, to
Yeah, and pansin ko, I think they studied what happened in 2001 very carefully. No, I think pag tignan mo yung mga supporters, empresarios ni President Duterte, they keep on saying yung nangyari at nagawa kay President Estrada, siguraduhin natin na hindi mangyari kay President Duterte. But of course, I mean, again, this might be quite strange, but former President Arroyo also is a very close advisor and friend of President Duterte, right? So we have this strange world and change in the kind of alignments, no? But Senator, sorry, did your father or has your father tried to sometimes mediate between you and Senator Jinggoy, for instance? I know, again, this is a very sensitive issue, but if you're comfortable to tell us something about it, how is he as a leader in the family, as a patriarch?
Well, he has tried. There are several attempts, no? Several attempts already, but probably that's one of his, frustrations in life, no? On how we will be able to patch things up. Kasi ako, parang I gave up already. So, we will be called, drinking, we will shake hands, but we know that it's not genuine, di ba? It's just probably Richard Bark. Just different characters, probably different outlook. Talagang ganun magkaiba
Hindi mapilitan talaga. I mean, but
Yes.
civil, I mean, you're civil, which is also very important. At least civil, basic decorum and all of that.
How does it affect the whole family dynamics? Like with your other siblings, with your parang meron bang mas kampi kay JV, mas kampi kay Jinggoy? Paano?
Before we were okay. I'm okay with everybody. He's okay with everybody. Talagang kami lang yung parang kami lang din talagang yung friction is really I really don't know. It's really probably character and outlook. Magkaiba talaga kami, no?
And sibling rivalry, I think it's unavoidable, no? I mean, pag
It
dalawang
happens.
lalaki, yeah, you're both in
Sorry,
politics. Yeah.
Hindi lang naman kami. In other provinces, papatayan pa sila, They really run against each other head to head, di ba? Kami lang we'll just choose to ignore ganun na siguro. But ako kasi lessons learned kung mag-fast forward tayo in 2019, I think I was it was very unfair for me, no? Na sayang kasi parang that whole campaign we were together in one slate. So the media feasted on our sibling rivalry. And too bad for me because I just passed 2 landmark laws, no? Universal Healthcare Law and the creation of the Department of Human Settlements or Housing. These are 2 landmark laws that, na sabi ko siguro pagka napasa ko to, no? Cruising na lang ako because these are 2 landmark laws that will really improve the lives of our people, no? If implemented,
Senator, can
properly.
you tell us more about this? Because you're absolutely right. Because during 2019, the headlines were always sibling rivalries, Estrada versus, I mean, I completely understand yung frustration niyo po. Can you tell us again, para lang maintindihan ng tao, ano po yung chief achievements niyo as a senator and what made you feel so confident na kahit may isa pang Estrada or na tumatakbo, I can still do it? What is the relevance of those key legislations that you passed, Senator Ejercito?
Well, universal healthcare law for one is it's an ambitious measure, but it aims to give access to good quality healthcare for all Filipinos without the financial burden. No, I really pushed for this because of my experience as mayor. Because I remember when I was mayor, probably 80% of the time, pag People's Day, people who come to me, I would say 80% are really financial assistance, and probably 90 or 80% of that is medical expenses, no? Our medical expenses. Napakabigat especially when a member of the family has cancer or needs dialysis. They're saving, they use up their savings. So ubos yung ipon nila. Mamaya magbebenta nila yung kagamitan nila, laptop, cellphone, tricycle, sa probinsya, mga traktora, kalabaw. And then later on, magsasala na ng lupa. So that has been the story of the lives of the Filipino people, lalo na pag nagkakasakit. So I told myself, I travel a lot also because of JCI. And how come in other countries, lalo sa mga Commonwealth countries, they have a very successful healthcare system, no? Sa Australia, Canada, UK, di ba? And even Thailand. for that
Yeah,
matter.
but
So,
Indonesia po, no? Lumabol din yung
yeah,
ibang kapitbahay natin, di ba?
Thailand, and Indonesia. Sabi ko, why don't we try, di ba? And then, of course, in the Senate, no, yeah, we learned also, naging vice chair of the Committee on Finance, kaya nga nakikita ko yung mga yung especially during the budget season, it took a while before I really got the hang of it, no? Sabi ko, nung naging vice chair ako, I was defending agencies, no? Sabi ko, ang daming unused dito, ang daming appropriated but unused in the end of the year. Ang dami nilang ina-appropriate tapos hindi naman nagagamit. Sabi ko, if you sum it up, yung isang bill ko, yung I was also one of the authors, yung free higher education. Sabi ko, kung kinumpute namin, ito yung education, ito yung tuition fees, no? That is collected. Sabi ko, kaya na ito. So, na-fund namin yung free higher education. Sa akin, universal healthcare law, if we will be able to insure all Filipinos, kasi dati ang insured lang yung employees, both regular and regular government and private. Sabi ko, why not insure everybody, no? Yung mga senior citizens, PWDs, indigents, the poor.
Right.
No?
Para socialized yung risk, di ba? You
Yes.
spread the risk, you spread the
Yes.
support base.
So,
May tanong lang ako, Senator JV. So, yung law nakapasa na, di ba, universal healthcare. Pero ano pa yung kulang ba siya sa funding? Ano yung, bakit hindi ma-full implementation yung
Kasi okay
idea
na yung
ng batas?
IRR, di ba? Tama si Mark, inayos na yung implementing rules and regulation. I think just before pandemic, no? So, what's going on there, Senator? I'm sure you're following up too, di ba? Parang baby niyo yan eh.
yes. Well, it's an ambitious measure, no doubt, no? Again, all Filipinos will now be covered. Basta Pilipino ka, miyembro ka na ng PhilHealth, at least you will get assistance. No? Nag-level up na rin yung mga packages. Like for example, breast cancer, you stand to get 150,000. Pag open heart surgery, 500,000. Liver or kidney transplant, for example, you'll get 600,000 pesos. That's by law, no? So, ang laki na nag-level up na rin. But it's a 10-year program, no? Hindi naman yan kasi pagkapasa, magic gaganda na lahat, di ba? It's a 10-year program because our healthcare system needs a lot of overhauling. We have to fix, no, healthcare facilities, no? Kasama diyan pag-establish ng lung, kidney, heart center, strategic areas kasi nandito lahat sa Metro Manila eh. People from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao come to Manila. Yung taga Manila nagsisiksikan dito, di ba? So, one of the key
Regional
program is to put strategic specialty centers in Northern Luzon, in Southern Luzon, in Central Visayas, Western Visayas, North and Southern Mindanao. So that's part of Universal Healthcare Act. Tapos, kailangan pa natin ensure we have to fix PhilHealth kasi the ever persistent PhilHealth problems, we have no choice but it's the main agency tasked to implement the Universal Healthcare Act. So that has to be looked into. No? So the problem lies because ang malas naman, no, kung kailan first year of implementation, that was past 2019, nagkaroon naman ng pandemic. So it's not the Philippines who was struggling. It was the whole world struggling on how to deal with the pandemic. But I'm just happy kasi outsider na lang looking in na at least all the COVID patients were covered, no, because of the Universal Healthcare Act. But there is a but, no, a lot of problems, no. This pandemic exposed and exacerbated the weaknesses of our healthcare system, no, yung inadequate health facilities. Pag merong surge, no, nakapila lahat. Even if critical na, you cannot get in because of the shortage of the hospital rooms, di ba? Second, yung healthcare workers natin, they are our foot soldiers, hindi pa natin mabigay yung benefits nila and some privileges like food, PPEs, minsan they are forced to buy their own. So that is guaranteed in the Universal Healthcare Act. And last but not least, yung ever persistent problem of PhilHealth. So I told myself, as a private citizen, sabi ko, sayang, no? If only Universal Healthcare Act was really prioritized and really given importance, it could help a lot in this pandemic, no? The problems that I mentioned, healthcare facilities, problems with healthcare workers and PhilHealth, all of those will be taken care of by the Universal Healthcare Act. So, my regret of not being in the Senate during that time, kasi this law is in its infancy. I think the wisdom of the principal sponsor will be very, very helpful, especially in the first years of implementation. Kaya nalungkot ako kasi maraming napabayaan because as the principal sponsor, I'm the one who conducted all the hearings, TWGs, and I know the history, the purpose, and intent of the law. Kaya sad eh. I was sad in 2019 that I did not make it. Hindi dahil wala na akong trabaho. I'm more sad because sayang itong
Right.
batas eh. You know, it's not, we had the opportunity to pass this landmark law. Siyempre kung Richard, Mark, if accomplishment lang, I think I'm accomplished already. Kota na ako in my 6 years in the Senate, 2 landmark laws. Ang ganda tatingnan sa resume no? Pero I do not want to leave anything half-baked kasi gusto ko naman yung talagang fully implemented na talagang nararamdaman ng ating by our people, no? So
Senator, can you tell us what happened in 2019? And I know it was really a nail biter for you. Of course, a lot of us were watching number 12, 13, 14. It was very, very close. What was going through your mind? Anong expectation nyo? What do you think went wrong? What went right for that matter? You're still almost there, no?
Well, as I mentioned, Richard, earlier, sabi ko, siguro, nakapasa naman ako I had a good performance. Wala naman akong issue, no corruption issues, scandals in my past 18 years in public service. And passing the Universal Healthcare Act and creation of Department of Housing, sabi ko, siguro, cruising na lang ako nito. Di ka? That was what was on my mind. So, I guess I was wrong. Senate fight is still more popularity. Secondary lang yung achievements, no? I think what really went wrong was when my brother ran. Kasi they ran.
Yeah,
yes, talagang you don't do that eh. Kahit na konsihal, kahit kagawad, that will really cause confusion, no? So, that was unexpected, no? Kasi I was a re-electionist. I was on a mission. I really, bagamat pasado na ito, I really wanted to, kaya hindi ako pwedeng mag-back out because I wanted to make sure that they are implemented properly, pati yung Department of Human Settlements, no? I wanted to make sure that it goes in the right direction. So, yun yung unexpected. I have to be honest. As much as possible, I don't want to talk
you
about
didn't see it coming. Hindi nyo
rivalry.
natatakbo si former Senator Estrada.
Yes. Because alam naman natin yung nangyari sa kanila. So when they were able to
come back,
yeah, they wanted to run also for vindication. Yun yung kanilang
wala bang internal conversations with the coalition of the administration, etc., to find a way around this? Or they're confident na kaya naman kayong pareho na i-carry?
I knew for a fact that it will be cause a problem. Talagang sabi ko, mabigat na yung laban ko, no? That time. Kasi you don't do that really. Talaga hindi mo gagawin yun, na dalawang sabay, no? Kaya lang, sabi ko, sayang ito talaga. I wanted to continue what I started. No? Aside from Universal Healthcare, Department of Housing, I happen to also defend and push for infrastructure developments. No? Nagkatugma kay President Duterte, he prioritized this.
Build, yeah.
Isa sa mga advocacies ko, Richard and Mark, which is not known much, yung transport modernization, no? Railway system. I've been talking about it since I was still in Congress. No? Nagdi-privilege speech na ako dyan. Wala naman nakikinig sa akin kasi wala naniniwala sa train sa atin eh. No? Talagang cars tayo, trucks, surplus. Pero for someone who has been traveling Europe, I went to Japan, US when I was young, I know that the railway system is the backbone of the economy of most countries. And I was pushing for that, no? Back then. Talagang sabi ko, we have to revive this. No? So, buti na lang when President Duterte has this Build program, I volunteered to defend the DOTR projects. No? Kasi talagang from ever since I was a kid, passion ko na yung anything that moves. Siyempre, as boys, cars, muna, planes, trucks, mamaya yung trains. Nahilig din ako sa train. In fact, I have an electric train upstairs in my toy room. Meron akong man game dito, meron akong electric trains. And parang it became for me ever since I was a kid.
A passion, parang lifetime passion.
Naging passion ko talaga yon. So I pushed for the North Rail. The South Rail, lalo na yung Bicol Express, na yung mga millennials, hindi na alam yung Bicol Express, ang alam nila pagkain na lang. That used to be a railway
no,
system.
Bicol Express. Yeah.
Yes. The Mindanao Railway System. So, in fact, si Secretary Tugadi would attest to this. Bago pa sila mag-assume ng office, I seek an audience with him, no? Incoming sometime June, no? July sila mag-assume. Sabi ko, Mr. Secretary, I hope that you will pursue the railway system and transport modernization of our airports because I think this will stimulate economic growth and spread out the development, no? So, hindi lahat Metro Manila, Cebu or Davao lang ang opportunities. Everybody troops here. Talagang kasi nandito lang yung opportunities eh. Walang trabaho at hanap buhay sa probinsya. But if you have the railway system, each railway station will be a growth development area. You'll have industrial parks, commercial centers, food terminals to help agriculture, buying station. So, yun ang tingin ko that I think yung talagang jobs and opportunities will be created in the countrysides if we have that infrastructure development. So, I also pushed for that and defended the North Trail, the North-South commuter line na ngayon nandiyan na po sa Clark. Nakikita nyo, may
Japanese
construction
pack
na.
yan, di ba? I think
Yes.
it's Japanese pack project, yeah. Tapos may
Japanese
subway
yan.
pa tayo, di ba? May subway
Yes.
sa Manila.
And also the Mindanao Railway System. No? For the first time in history, there will be a Mindanao Railway System, which I think in the long run will pave the way for lasting peace in Mindanao. Kasi the root cause of rebellion in Central and Western Mindanao, insurgency in Eastern Mindanao, madali kasi manghikayat. Pag gutom ang tao, pag wala opportunity, pag mahirap, talaga madali. Pero when you spread out the development, we create growth development areas in the different provinces. And when people have jobs and opportunities, right, agriculture will also grow, no, because of the food terminals. I think in the long run, Mindanao will have lasting peace, no, if this becomes a reality. Kaya, Richard, Mark, ganun na lang yung passion ko that I really want to continue all of these things that I started. Kasi sayang eh. Hindi ko naman sinasabing ako lang yung may alam, but for someone who has the history, who knows the history and the intention of all these things, I think the wisdom will be very helpful as we implement this. No? Kaya nangihinaya ko, 2019 when my brother ran simultaneously with me and we both lost, hindi lang ako nawalan ng trabaho. Sayang talaga. I really feel bad about Universal Healthcare Act, Department of Housing, and the infrastructure development. Sayang yung 3 years na nawala ako talaga. No?
You could have nurtured it. You could have, you know, kasi cradle phase yan, di ba? So very crucial yung infancy phase yan. But now, of course, you have decided to run 3 years into your forced retirement. Temporarily, of course, the hope would be. So ngayon bumabalik kayo. But Senator Estrada is also running now. So why are you still in this? Knowing the risk at base sa latest survey na lumabas, you're more or less in the same range, no? Siya 10 to 11, siya kayo 12 to 14, both in the 30% range. So is this deja vu or you're hoping this time paras na lang kayo pumasok para doon na kayo mag-away sa loob kaysa sa labas?
Well, it's 2019 all over again, no doubt. No? Talagang it's a challenge, especially now that I'm not an incumbent senator. But you know, Richard, Mark, this pandemic probably made me decide. Sabi ko, sayang, all of these things that are happening, problems with the healthcare facilities, problems with the healthcare workers, problems with PhilHealth, I told myself that, you know, again, I would repeat that Universal Healthcare Act, when properly implemented and really prioritized, will solve a lot of these problems prevailing now. So as the wisdom, I think the wisdom of the principal sponsor is direly needed. And syempre, hindi ko papabayaan yan, baby ko yan eh, di ba? Kaya I think it's an uphill battle, no doubt. It's a difficult battle, I know. But I think it's my mission and obligation to complete and finish implement the Universal Healthcare Act. No? Pangako natin to eh. Again, I do not want to leave it half-baked. I want really to oversee its implementation. Yung oversight function nga has not really operated until now. So that has to operate para masigurado natin tama ang implementation. Di ba?
Lalong-lalo na medyo balik na tayo sa new normal hopefully, no, Senator?
Yes,
So you can be more proactive in the way you would want to be.
So I admittedly it's an uphill battle for me, but again I'm on a mission and I think it's my obligation to complete this. I'm hoping that the people would realize this and support me.
The
Sana
younger
tulungan po nila
generation,
ako.
the new voters, na hindi bumoto
Yes.
noong 2019.
I
Mark,
think
may
ano,
sasabihin ka rin, no?
Yes, I think Richard, Mark, I think I'm in a better position now compared to 2019. For some
Right.
reason, 2019 at this stage I was 17, 18, no, at this period. Pero now I'm already in the winning circle, 12 to 14. The other service 8 to 12, no? And considering that yung I have my TV ads now pero manipis kumpara doon sa mga nasa top 12, I'm hoping that people will realize that, for us to be able to realize na talagang kailangan natin universal healthcare, for it to be realized, sana yung wisdom of the principal sponsor will be there. Sana tulungan po nila ako. I really would want really it to complete it, yung housing and yung infra development. Talagang passion ko yan na I think that will really create jobs and opportunities and spread out the development. Yun yung tingin ko talaga on the long term. Kaya nga I'm hoping that all of these things would help sana makita ng mga voters that I really would want to finish all of these things that I started. Hindi na ito Richard Mark, it's not hindi na promise because ando na we have started. Gusto ko na talaga
Sense of
bantayan.
vision. Yeah, sense of.
Yes.
Mark, may sasabihin ka
May dalawa akong napansin, Senator JV. Kasi before, we know you as anak ni Erap and then senator. Pero ngayon, parang you're known dalawa One is yung pagiging foodie nyo. Yung sa Let's Eat Pare, madalas ko makita yung mga post nyo doon. And the other one is yung pagiging rider. Kasi definitely yung mga riders ngayon, ang dami. Talagang napakalaking voting block natin yung mga riders. And they will vote for politicians who will take care yung mga concerns nila. So, paano po nangyari yung sa dalawang yun?
Well, I started riding again probably 7 years ago, no? 2015. Tapos, I really like it. As I said earlier, di ba? Anything that has engines, na-amaze ako, pati truck nga, pati tren. From a car guy, I used to be a car enthusiast, nag-race din ako. Parang when I went into national politics, no, parang I told myself, parang hindi na bagay sa akin. And also slowly, dumami na yung sports cars, the circle became different na. Dati enthusiast talaga, may hilig talaga, former rally drivers, mga car enthusiasts like Danding Kuang, Ramon Ang na we hang out together every Sunday. 20-30 lang kami noon back then. And then later on, dumami na, no? Yung mga anak na mayayaman na hindi naman talaga car enthusiast. May pambili lang, pamporma. So parang
nakikiuso lang.
Parang buti na lang, that's why I went into riding. Parang in riding kasi yung riders iba yung culture Parang Richard, Mark, para ka lang, parang nung bata ka, pasyal tayo, bisikleta tayo. So parang I felt that it was more suited for me and I really enjoyed riding. You get to explore a lot of places, no? You feel the air, you smell everything, mas ma-appreciate mo than riding in a car. And every ride is an adventure no? So yun, I get to see a lot of things, the beautiful places in the country na hindi mo pupunta pag nakakotse ka kasi malayo and matraffic. So I go to Sagada, to Banawe, Apari, Sorsogon, even Mindanao. So yun, it became a passion. Naging accidental foodie ako kasi yung mga food that I discover along the way, I try to share and feature para naman matulungan din natin yung mga small and medium scale industry and tourism in my travels. So that started my passion for riding and my being an accidental foodie.
An accidental politician 20 years ago or so.
Yes.
Sabi niya, thank you very much, Senator. Do you have some final parting words, especially for our younger voters who are going to vote for the first time? Ano pong masasabi niyo? Yes, considering that you're also running in these elections. Yes.
Well, first of all, Richard, Mark, thank you very much for this opportunity. It was quite an interesting discussion. We covered quite a lot. So probably my appeal especially to the young voters, no? Let's not be carried by trending, by the bandwagon, no? By popularity. I'm hoping that they will really scrutinize candidates based on track record, based on integrity, based on performance, and based on character. So I think that's how it should be, no? So huwag tayong magpadala sa popularity. Talagang dapat tingnan natin yung performance, integrity, and character of the candidates. Richard, Mark, thank you for this opportunity. I'm again offering myself to the Filipino people. As mentioned earlier, I'm on a mission. I would want to complete all the things that I have started. Gusto kong bantayan yan, Universal Healthcare Act, Department of Housing, the infrastructure development, no? In fact, probably my very first bill that I would file, Richard, Mark, is the comprehensive master plan for infrastructure development and transport modernization. Para kahit sino ang presidente mo po, we now have a blueprint that will follow. Kasi pag transport modernization and infra, dapat yan 50 to 100 years ang planning eh. No? So, kahit sino po na presidente, meron silang pet programs and projects, pero dapat we have a blueprint that will follow. No? So, yun po yung I'm hoping that I will be able to go back to the Senate, no? So that I can continue what I have started. Marami pa tayong kailangan ayusin, marami tayong kailangan gawin. Gagawin natin yan, no? Kaya ibalik natin ang good sa Senado. JB Ejercito, number 22 sa balota.
Ayan, yan ang hinahanap po namin, yung huli eh. Medyo kulang eh. Maraming salamat, Senator.
Thank you, Richard. It's an honor, privilege.
Of course, pleasure. Thank you very much.
It was a great, and Mark, thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right po. God bless po. Thank you very much.
Thank you.